Hello and welcome to Turning Looks, a beauty and cosmetics podcast. I am your host, Darren, and welcome back to another episode. This month we have the incredible Josh on, who is an MUA. They were on BBC's Glow Up season 7 and an amazing drag performer under the name Lexi Blac. We talk about transitioning from being a drag performer into a makeup artist and what that transition's like, the skills you have as a makeup artist as a drag performer that goes into being a celebrity makeup artist and so much more. So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. So, first question, how did drag first influence the way you think about your makeup artistry?
This is a really tricky question because I started makeup before I started drag.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing fashion design in uni and I've worn makeup since I was like 13. Thought it was unclockable, but pretty much was this walking around school, but thought no one would notice. I mean, it was nothing like that. Anyway, so then I decided during my third year of uni, which is my final year, which was a stupid decision, but a great decision, to quit uni and try and get a job in makeup. Because I was just like, I actually don't like fashion design. Like, I love sewing, I make everything that I wear, and I love being able to do that. But makeup was just a little bit more fun to me, and uni kind of drained the life out of me anyway. I absolutely hated it. So I was like, if I get a job in makeup within the next year, then I won't come back. If I don't, I'll come back. It's a sign I'm not meant to be doing makeup. And then I think it was 6 weeks later, I got my first job in makeup, which was on Benefit.
Interesting benefit.
Yeah, which is really not my kind of brand. I didn't enjoy working with them either. I mean, I love their products. I thought the counter I worked on was a bit of an issue. Um, but yeah, and then I started doing drag makeup because I watched Drag Race, and that kind of opened my because I didn't know drag existed until Drag Race. Like I genuinely was like, I've seen these people around, but I don't know what drag is. And then I was watching it, and I was like, I could do that. I could do that quite well, actually. And this was watching season 7 of the American season. So I was like, Violet, Miss Fame, Pearl, Trixie, Ginger, like all these icons in drag on this one season, which everyone thinks is really shit, but I absolutely love that season. And I think watching it, I was like, fashion, makeup, hair, attitude. I've got all of that. So then I started doing it, and yeah, that's when I was kind of like, I think I struggled at first because as a makeup artist, you get taught certain ways of doing things if you ever learn anything, and then going into drag, it's like have all that knowledge but don't use any of it. So like I struggled to kind of understand like where to go and where to put myself. It's only recently that I've kind of figured it out myself, but like yeah, it's kind of influenced slightly, but not that much, to be honest.
I love that like season 7 was your intro to drag because like it's like the makeup-y season as well. Like
Yeah.
Pearl, Violet, and then Trixie now have really like inspired so much of makeup. And at the time they were like big makeup fashion-y girlies, weren't they?
Yeah, literally. So it's like looking back, I mean, I think that season still stands as one of the strongest fashion seasons, period. Like, as it's gone on, yeah, the fashion's got bigger and better, but that's where it began. And like watching it back, that episode 1, watching Violet do that reveal, it's actually not that impressive. But like at the time, it was like she might as well have just walked out and built a car. Like, it gagged me.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
fully. What's something drag makeup has taught you that you think every MUA should know?
I think every MUA does know it, but there is literally no rules to makeup. Like, I watch some of my friends get into drag, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? What is actually going on? Drawing a lip line as like as one of the first steps, or I don't even know. Like just watching. I mean, I've got one friend. I won't mention her name, love her, but her makeup. This process of doing it is absolute as a makeup artist ridiculous. It makes no logical sense, but then at the very end, she looks phenomenal. And I'll never understand it. So like going into drag after doing makeup, I wish I kind of hadn't done makeup first because it gives you a lot more freedom to just do whatever works to get the end result. Whereas in my brain, I'm like, right, okay, so what I'll do, so I'll do this first, and then I need to do that, and then I need to do this. Whereas a lot of drag queens will just be like, I need makeup on, done.
a lot of drag queens like, do what ends up with the best result for their makeup. Where like, yeah, as an MUA, you've got like, well, these are the processes that I need to take, and this is what the theory behind X, Y, and Z is. So it ends up like you said, you either take longer or you're not figuring things out maybe the best way that you could possibly could as a drag performer
Yeah.
because you're thinking too much like the professionally kind of side of things.
Yeah. And my brain sometimes doesn't allow me to go big enough. Like sometimes I'm like, no, like it needs to be close to the lash line, or no, my brows need to go. And it's like, there's actually no rules. Val and Dom said it almost every episode, at the start of every episode, before the critiques. They just say like, this is subjective. This is our opinions. It's not like 100% like the end of the world if we don't like it. And that is definitely something that I carry with me since the show. Like, yeah, every bit of makeup is subjective. So just because I do it one way and somebody does it another way doesn't mean it's wrong.
Yeah, makeup is art, and art is like subjective, right? So,
Exactly.
and I also love, yeah, what you're saying about like drag queens doing things in funny ways. I remember like back when like Wow Presents used to do the drag queens doing their tutorials, like when they come out of
Mm.
every season and watching some of the queens, and you're like, the hell are you doing there? Like, what?
Yeah,
And it ends up being looking pretty, but you're like, how have you managed to get from there to there?
literally.
Who knows?
Who is it? I should know her name. The big winner. She won all winners. What? Jinx. The way she does her makeup is satanic. What does she use? Dream Matte Mousse as a primer? I think she uses Dream Matte Mousse as a primer, from what I can remember. That to me makes my whole body, oh, horrid. But like, she's flawless. So I'm like, how? And how did she get to that point where she was like, maybe this would be the best primer for what I want? Because it's not even a primer. I'd love to sit her down and be like, how did you get here? How did this happen?
How did you make this work? Because like
Yeah,
no one else on this planet can make that product work. So how have you managed it?
literally wild.
And you said before in like interviews around, especially like before Glow Up, that you wanted to step away from being doing drag as much. Is that still a thing now, or are you still wanting to do it? What are your thoughts on like your thoughts on Lexi?
Well, funnily enough, I'm a gay man. And gay men can be a little bit dramatic and also a little bit impulsive. So this is probably like the 10th time I've been like, I'm done with drag. I'm done with drag. And then I go online, and this is real shady, but I go online and I'm like, all right, I'll do it because you lot aren't doing it good enough. Like, I think there's so many times where I look at drag and I'm like, oh, it's not what it was. It's not what it could be. It's not necessarily what it should be, but the people that are getting booked and the people that are big and out there are quite generic and quite boring in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some incredible artists out there, but they aren't really in, I suppose, like the mainstream, if that makes sense. Like you've got people like Is She Hungry? Um, Trixie, I suppose, is a big one. But like people that are just a bit weird aren't as popular anymore. When I first started doing drag, it was big. Like Jodie Harsh, her makeup and her style is so identifiably her. Whereas I don't feel like a lot of drag queens nowadays have that identity. It is kind of what they've seen and what they've taken. And I'm on about the belts for bras and human hair wig girlies. Like it just irks me. But like it's my art form, so I was like, I can't quit it. I just don't do performances anymore because that's never been what I wanted to do, and I always felt like I had to fit in that box. And now I'm like, I actually don't care. Like, I'm happy to sit in my bedroom and put makeup on until I'm 70 years old. I actually don't care. It's fun for me.
Fair, yeah, fair. Yeah, there's a lot of those kind of like queens that just want to look pretty, and a
Hmm.
lot of those queens that want to look pretty look the same. And
Yeah.
there's like where's like the individuality? Where's your like unique point? Where's your point of view in your like drag
Yeah.
visual identity?
Exactly. And as for someone that does all my own hair, I do my own makeup, I do my own outfits, I miss seeing the creativity to it. Like when I first started working in Manchester, it was such an incredible scene of like amazing individual people, but that all kind of gelled really well together. It was the same in Liverpool. Liverpool is a lot more cabaret style, but like everybody still had their own thing. Whereas now, I mean, Liverpool is still quite individual. That's why I love working in Liverpool still, and I love working in Manchester, don't get me wrong, but there are a lot of girlies in Manchester now and in bigger cities. I mean, there's gonna people are gonna hate me for saying this, but like that just aren't that impressive to me. Their performance style, impressive. I can't do a flip. I can barely get out of fucking bed in the morning, so I'm not gonna performance wise, you do you, you can do so much better than me. But like, why do you feel like just throwing on a PLT dress and a human hair wig is enough? It's just boring. But that's me getting kicked out of Manchester now.
I mean,
Woo.
there's so many even London queens that I'm thinking of when you're saying all these things. I'm like, oh, I could list so many of the girlies. I'm not going to because I also don't want to get
Yeah,
cancelled and dragged
same.
too. And I also go and see their shows too. So, I'm part of the problem, I guess. But there are so many of them that, yeah, you're just like, you do the same thing all the time, look exactly the same. There's talent in this, and yes, you
Mhm.
are talented, but is there a level of artistry? Maybe.
There's a level. Is it level?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Talking about creativity and boldness and more of the US like an MUA, how do you bring your like that like drag almost like creativity and boldness into the more commercial celebrity makeup space, kind of your makeup artistry side of things onto clients and stuff?
Do you know what? I think recently, especially since people like Chapel Roan have come about, it's actually a lot easier to suggest something now. Whereas let's say 5 years ago, it was this kind of Hailey Bieber soft. I mean, maybe not 5 years ago, but for the past few years, it's been very soft, browns, boring makeup, if you ask me. Like, don't get me wrong, it takes skill to do it, but ugh, like the end result isn't like, oh my God, I'd stop on the street and be like, oh my God, who is she? Whereas nowadays, it's so much easier to kind of, even blocking out a brow was such a big controversial thing a couple of years ago now. Whereas nowadays, it just is like, I suppose, second nature to kind of what do we want to do? What do we want to create? How do we make it bigger? How do we make it better? But yeah, so I think nowadays it's a little bit easier, but it's still a bit of a way to go yet.
I would also love to see like male celebrity beauty get to the
Mhm.
place where like women's beauty is going to, like with people like Chapel Roan or
Yeah.
Gaga and stuff. Where are the men doing that? Like you have what Adam Lambert's the only big name I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And obviously there are other people doing it, not to discredit them, but like any more mainstream men to be coming out there and doing a Chapel Roan, bringing back that David Bowie Prince aesthetic kind of vibe.
This is what I don't understand. Our history is so rooted in like queerness and self-expression. How have we got to this year now and it be so toxically masculine that like these men that will wear a full beat on a runway and will wear a full beat on a red carpet will never acknowledge it. Like, why can't these men be men enough to just say, hold on, yeah, well, I had a bit of bronzer, had a bit of concealer on. My makeup artist was this person. She did an incredible job. We've been working together for 15 years, blah, blah, blah. Whereas you just never hear that from a man. And like, again, it's still only soft makeup, but like Adam Lambert, for example, I mean, a black smoky eye on a man could be one of the sexiest things ever because it's that kind of like, I actually don't give a fuck. You've got people like Young Blood and you've got people like, Domania. Oh, he was on Eurovision. I can't remember his name. He was in that.
The Italian guy that's now dating Dove
Yeah,
Cameron. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Right. I've got a problem with him. And if we see each other, it's on sight because he was so self-expressive, and then all of a sudden he's gone into this, I'm a boring white man again. And it's like, what the f just happened? Like you were wearing skirts and eyeliner 5 minutes ago, and now you're in a two-piece suit, which is the most boring thing ever, with a little bit of concealer on, and it's like, oh, I actually really enjoyed what you were doing before, and now you've kind of mainstreamed your vibe. It's just a bit flat.
Yeah, like he went solo from the band, left all that kind of rocky side of him, that alternative rock side, and has kind of gone more like pop folky, and it's kind of
Yeah.
everything like, never sees like tattoos or anything. His whole body was covered at one point. And I'm like, that's quite a permanent choice to make to now to like be completely Harry Styles yourself. Like,
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I mean, and like you said before, David Bowie and like Prince and all these big people, where they never, from what I know, never had the shame in it and never stopped it. they just kind of it fizzled as they got older, and that's natural. I mean, I'm sure I'm not going to be sat there at 90 looking like this, but they never denied what they did, and they never kind of ignored what they did either. They just that was who they were.
It evolved though as well, right? Like it didn't just like automatically stop as they got older. It just changed because I guess for them the way they wore makeup or their aesthetic changed as they got older because they couldn't wear the heels or couldn't
Hmm.
wear the full beat because it just wouldn't look the same on their like aged skin or whatever. So it just kind of it more felt like it was an evolution of them rather than a
Yeah,
stick stop.
yeah, exactly.
Switching things up a little bit, thinking about like when you were on Glow Up, what was the biggest thing you learned about yourself as an artist being on the show?
Do you know what? Fuck it, I'll say it. I thought I was the bee's knees going into that place, and I came away thinking I'm average. And I don't think that didn't come from the show. They didn't make me feel that way. Being around nine other makeup artists, not only the nine makeup artists, the guest judges, and Fallon Dom, being around not and the cast, like there's a lot of cast members that work on there that are part of the makeup world as well. And like I went in thinking, well, no, I went in as a big fish in a small pond, and that saying is thrown around a lot, but I literally got there and I was like, okay, these guys are actually pretty pretty fucking good actually. Shit. So like I learned that no matter how good you are not pushing yourself if you think you are the best. If you think that you are better than any, well, I didn't think I was better than everybody, but I just thought, you know what, I'm great at what I do. And then I came away from it thinking I was just in a space where I was the best, but that space was very small. And I still needed to push myself and grow further and get bigger in order to learn more.
Yeah, so it totally like encouraged you to challenge yourself and to grow more, right? So that's
Yeah,
like a positive thing, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I went in very much a kind of, I mean, this is my drag especially, went in as like kind of a beauty drag queen. I did quite a lot of beauty makeup. I kind of followed the beauty trends. Whereas coming away from it, I've been a lot more experimental in everything I do. I mean, especially today. I don't do, I mean, goth makeup, but I asked everybody on Instagram yesterday what they wanted to see, and everyone said goth, and I was like, goth it is then. And like just pushing myself to do things that I wouldn't always kind of jump to in my head. It's been actually really exciting and really fun. I've not done it that much because I've been a bit exhausted, but when I do it, I'm in love with the result a lot more than what I was prior.
That's good as well. I thought your vibe today was editorial pirate. So, you know,
Okay, I can go with that.
it's on the
Yeah.
lines. I think we're on the same like or like yeah, Goth Girl goes to on the Titanic.
Yeah, I want right. So my whole aesthetic is anything based around a villain. I love a villain, and I always have loved villains. So I always like try to keep a little bit of just something like I could be sat with Cruella. I'm Cruella's cousin, just sat smoking a cigarette while she's murdering her dogs, and I'm just there like nonchalant about it. Like I always have a vision, and that vision
Yes.
doesn't have nails.
Well, we just hide the hands. We just hide the hands, right? We don't do any handography. Yes,
Exactly.
see, yeah.
That's why I've got a sleeve.
At least the nails are painted.
Exactly, which I did. So.
Were there any moments that didn't make it to air on Glow Up that you wish viewers could have seen? I mean, I liked what you said earlier about at the start of every challenge, Dom being like, "This is just our perspective," which would be nice if they did air that also, because it's like, I understand it kind of breaks that reality TV kind of wall, but
Yeah.
the judges also being like, "We know that this is like art. This is just our opinion on the TV show." But yeah, were there any other moments that you kind of wish made it to air?
Thinking back, because it's been like 9 months now since we filmed it, I can't actually think of anything. I mean, there was one that did air, which I was really, really fucking happy that they did, which was when May Pang stood across from me and said, when you were doing your makeup, you were blending, and I was taking notes. I almost went home because I didn't think life could get any better. Like, that is insane because she is one of the biggest creative people in makeup online at the moment. Like she really does just kind of she'll pick up a fucking apple and glue it to her face and it look great. It always ends up looking phenomenal. So for her to sit there and say that about my work, I was like, okay, wow, I was gonna put my hand behind my ear, but there's too much hair there. So there we go.
It's always nice when you get those kind of moments like with those people, those icons, those legends actually being like, oh wow, like they've seen it they've seen you, and like you said, like actually complimenting a skill that like they do super well. So the fact that they're
Yeah.
saying they're taking notes is just like almost like could be mind blowing in the moment, right?
Yeah. And another thing, this did air quite a lot, but I was very supportive of everyone. Like I made sure that everybody, if they, for the drag challenge, for example, not everybody knew how to block a brow. So in the house, I did like a little demo on how to do that. And on the show, you saw Jade needed help, Sharice needed help, a few others actually still needed help on the day. And I was asked by one of the producers, like, "Oh, why do you keep helping everyone? You do know this is a competition." And I always said that me helping somebody else doesn't discredit my skill. I'm building them up to be on my level. I want to beat the best. So, like, if they don't know how to do something, and also I didn't know how to do a ball cap, and they helped me do a ball cap. So, we all kind of shared each other's knowledge, but like, I don't feel like that was shown by everyone. I know that I had my moments where you could see me going around and helping a few people, but it's very much one big family. Like, we all helped each other with certain things. Like, Mia helped me learn how to do prosthetics because I'd never done them before the show. I think it was Ailish that showed me how to do a ball cap, and she showed me how to do it in the house without any ball cap glue remover. So I had to rip it off my head. So a little bit behind the scenes tea that I don't think they'll care about me saying. I had to wear a bandana and a hat on episode 3 for the Beauty Bay campaign because I had a burn across my forehead where I'd ripped this ball cap off the day before.
One, ouch, and lol. I remember you wearing that like bandana. Wow, that's
Yeah.
ouch.
Yeah, and I hate wearing a bandana outside the house. I just wear it in like the house just to keep my hair out my face. So like walking around the streets with it, I was like, this doesn't match my outfit. It's not what I want to go with. This is not how I wanted to look today. And I had a banging headache as well because I must have had some kind of reaction. So my eyes kept streaming and I had a liner on. Oh, a great day, but physically, terrible day.
I always find it interesting that they have this house they all put you in and they show little bits of it, but they don't actually really do much filming or stuff in the house. Like that could be its own like spin-off show. Like they could do like an Untucked, but it just be like of the house because like you're all in there and they do show clips of it. Like they want to have this almost like Big Brother-esque kind of vibe, but they don't ever use it. And I'm like, why not? Like that feels like a missed opportunity.
I mean, that's a really good idea, actually. Like a little untucked after. I mean, they do come back after every industry challenge and they do film for at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. But we are all there at like 10 o'clock at night. Like, I just want to fucking eat. So they'll be like, how did you find today? Fine. So, like, they didn't really get much from us, which is probably why they can't use much because we would all just be sat. And if we did bad, we'd just be sat in a corner, like, I think I did shit. It is what it is. I just did shit.
But
Because you
that's
just,
entertaining. That's like well, you see that on
yeah,
Drag Race and they go on Untucked and they start breaking down because they think they've done
yeah.
bad on the challenge. I think, I mean, I guess with the thing with Glow Up is it's not really almost trying to be a reality TV show like
No.
Drag Race is. It's just trying to be a show art showcases art makeup artists more than anything. I
Yeah.
feel like.
And there is a few moments that were filmed that would make it a little bit Drag Race-y. I do think that like they could have shown a few things that were filmed that wasn't shown. That was just it wasn't drama, but there was a little bit of spice, and I felt like that little bit of spice would have been lovely. But that's just because I'm an arsehole. So
But yeah, talking about obviously being like a drag performing, well, drag queen who's also a makeup artist, do you think the mainstream beauty industry is ready for like queer and drag inspired artistry, or do you think it's still kind of tokenized? Because I feel like there was a time pre-pandemic where we were kind of getting there, then the pandemic hit and it kind of went all clean girly, and we've gone this really like conservative kind of makeup vibes as well, especially with like the people in power as well and how like anti-diversity they are. Do you
mhm.
think the industry is like ready for like this like a queer renaissance in makeup artistry?
I think the issue is the industry. I think brands are now owned by people that don't do and aren't passionate about makeup. There's too many celebrities releasing half-arsed lip glosses and skin tints, and I'm passionately fucking angry about this because I get so sick of it. Rhodes Beauty, I mean, I'm sure she's a lovely girl, but she's not releasing anything that's revolutionizing the beauty industry. The only two right now that I can think of off the top of my head, House Labs and Rare Beauty. Rare Beauty is doing that clean girl thing, but she's doing it in a really great way. The formulas are phenomenal. The products, the packaging, it's great. House Labs, I don't really need to say much, do I? But like you've got people like Pat McGrath and you've got people like Danessa Myricks that are creating products that makeup artists want. Made by Mitchell, again, products that people want, but these are makeup artists. And then you look at all these celebrity makeup lines, and it's just what their makeup artist would put on them for a red carpet. And I think as a makeup artist, enough now. Stop. Like, finish this. Like, unless you are going to cater, and this is the thing, certain brands, let's say Mac. Mac is catered towards makeup artists, but everybody can use it. Urban Decay is catered towards that kind of bit of an edge, that kind of grungy vibe, but everyone can use it. Whereas there's, and I keep saying Rhodes, bless her. If she ever meets me, she never will. She never will. Anyway, Rhodes, it's shit because she doesn't cater to anybody but what she wants in her own makeup bag. And I think that's our issue. There's not enough of our voices as makeup artists within the industry of making the products for it to be influenced enough for people to do it.
Totally. And I think that's what you really see like people like companies like Mac doing well is like whenever they release a new product, it's been tested by makeup artists first. Or even like Lady Gaga's brand, like her makeup artist is kind of leading it, but it feels like she really
Mhm.
knows what the industry wants. At Half
Yeah.
Magic, again, like she's creating interesting and unique things that can be used in ways that she knows makeup artists are going to use well, really well, but also is fun for the general consumer.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I could go on about Danessa for months and months and months. I actually nearly cried when I saw the final episode and saw that she was a guest judge because I wasn't there, and I absolutely hated the fact that the other three got to meet her and I never. But she really is a powerhouse in innovative technology and makeup. Like I've recently tried, I mean, all of the shimmers, don't even get me started, because I would wear them all over my body if I could afford it. These shimmer sticks. Now, is a shimmer stick the most revolutionary product? No. Was the packaging thought of from a makeup artist perspective? Yes. Every single thing about the product has been thought about, and that's what I love about her and her brand, because it's like she as a you can tell she's been a working makeup artist for a very long time because she releases a product and it's like, oh, I wish that this, never mind, it does it. I wish that this would have, never mind, it does it. And there's never a fault. Like I've not found fault in any of the products of hers that I've used. And I think that she is going to become like, I mean, she's already massive, she's huge, but I think one day in the future, she is literally going to be, her brand is going to be the Mac standard. She's going to be leading the way.
Honestly, her products are incredible. And like whenever I see people talking about them, they always all love it. But like those new shadow sticks, I'm like, I want them and I want them all. Like I love a shimmery eye and like a grungy shimmery eye is my vibe. And I'm like, oh, those sticks are like just perfect for that.
Yeah, I reckon you'd love them. I mean, I love them. And I don't really use a shimmery stick that often, to be honest, but I still want every single fucking shade. Like, I have not got £8,000 to Nessa. So can we release maybe one stick a year and then we can all be on the same page? Because I'm seeing all these people swatching them and I can't even swatch one because I'm broke.
That part all the way. Or can
But
we just
literally
like,
buying a credit card
yeah, can we just
just for
like
this.
do a big like Sephora sale, please, just Nessa?
Yeah,
Just like, you know.
honestly, why don't you just sell them for, let's say, £1? I can afford that just for an hour, and then I'll buy them all. Done.
But last question, what's one bold beauty moment you'd like to see more celebrities and just people embrace?
I want to see color again. When I first started working in makeup, and this was after I worked at Benefit, I got a job interview for NYX. Now, I'm guilty of this because it's not the norm anymore, so I'm not going to walk around like it because it's bad enough for a gay person to walk around the streets anyway. But I literally went to my job interview with an orange and yellow cut crease smoky eye on one eye, blue and purple on the other eye, a red lip, and a full beat. I want this back. I want Urban Decay Electric Palette. I won't say his name. That nice colourful palette in collaboration with the Nonce from Morphe. Like something like that back in the mainstream where people can be creative and be bold. I remember back like when Morphe first came to the UK. me and my two friends, my partner and his friend would get dressed, do a full beat, and we'd be like, right, we're going shopping today. It's payday, so let's go. And we would get dressed up, we'd put on makeup. I mean, we'd walk in there like we were somebody. We were literally nobody. We were probably their favorite customers because we'd come in and spend like hundreds every other month. But like, I want that back. Like, so we had the excitement in Liverpool when Sephora opened recently. I just want that back. That excitement to like go and look at what brands have. I don't think that like we've had that for a very long time in the industry and in just in general, to be honest. I think that's the same in fashion. Like, there's no shops on the high street where I'm like, oh, let me go and check what they've got. I think as a world after the pandemic, we just got fucking boring. Everything's so plain and like brown and beige. We went from the millennial grey to the millennial beige. Like, it's just we've just hopped from one boring color to another, and I want that life back. I'd love everyone to walk around looking like this. Like, imagine what a fucking cool world it would be if everybody just woke up and got into full drag every day. It'd be sick.
Honestly, I agree. Like, even when I look back to some of like my older pictures where I'm wearing more makeup or more like over the top makeup, I'm like, oh, I need to do that again. And then I'll sit there and like be doing my makeup and trying to like go more and more bold. And then I'll then like look at pictures. I'm like, oh, I've just like blended that way into nothing. And it's like basically, makeup again. Like, I feel like I've just lost even the ability to do that bold makeup. But then, like you said, there's less people, less like, especially like shops and stuff in putting out products and visually doing that. Even like when you go to places like Mac used to be, you'd go into there, see the makeup artist, and they'd be all like practically in drag, and even they're quite like watered down and stuff now too. And it's just like, where is this kind of like, where do you find that on the high street and stuff that these creative people doing this like extravagant makeup?
Yeah, I mean, Kat from the show, she works for NYX on a boot in a boots on a counter and will show up to work full goth every day. And like, I applaud her for it. I mean, she wears a fucking wig every day as well, and I applaud her for that because that's a lot of fucking effort in itself. But like, the fact that she shows up to work in Liverpool, which is the home of the Prin, full goth beat, and I mean like full goth beat. She does not miss a trick. I'm like, we need more of you. I think that's why we got so close as well, not only because she's Scouse and I am an honorary Scouse woman, but because she is so unapologetically herself. And I think that's the good thing about Glow Up. You meet people that I never would have thought that me and Kat would be friends. We are polar opposites. I've got a friendship with her that I wouldn't change for the world because, like, she is so fucking weird, but so creative.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely.
For anyone listening who doesn't already follow you or know about you, where can they find you online?
They can find me on Instagram and TikTok, which is Lexi full stop black without the K. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you liked it, make sure to leave a comment below, share it with your friends, share it on social media, follow us and subscribe on TikTok, LinkedIn, if you have that, Instagram, as well as on the podcast platform that you're listening on. And until the next one, see you around.